Hiya, yet another update while the weather's good. So, a view. That's the beam in place and the uprights bolted in. Need some slightly bigger bolts than the ones I've used. You saw this thing, it's all propped up now and wired together, but it's got full of litter, so I'm going to have to clean it out. I haven't been able to pour the concrete because it's been piddling down. It's just dried out this afternoon. It's just temporarily supported at the moment with this one, and there's one up there, but they're not the real fixings. These are, which I've just started doing. Can balance. You can see that one wasn't actually supported because it's over the door frame. All the steels, the originals that went holding the roof up, they all had a piece welded in, which was then like that one is. There's a piece comes down, bolted through and into the concrete, and the others are all like that one over there, bolted into the upright, all the same. So what I've done, I started cutting holes out, run my new angle pieces. This is a temporary because they're not true and square. I put my supports in square, that one and that one are square, but actually the roof has a very slight slope backwards. So I'm continuing that because I need these jammed right up to each other. So there's a bolt that side, a bolt this side, it's got the angle. Once I remove the wall and grind away the angle piece to drop, I will weld them together. So that's the job at the moment, punching holes through the wall without destroying the support. You just have to cut the top of the posts off. It shows it better over here. That one there, there's no upright post. Well, there is, it just stops. It stops here. I just chopped it off because there's still the angle piece that comes down holding onto that post. So I'll be able to remove the wall eventually, get the roof on, remove the wall, remove the upright posts and the wall, and hopefully then all the load transfers to this. I think what I'll do, I've got a bolt on each end at the moment, I'll end up with 4 bolts on each one. And what I'm planning to do is weld a tag that comes out like this here to the end of these. I could take these off again. Weld a tag on that face and then 2 roll bolts straight into the timber, and that will take the load no problem. And then whatever I put in as the wall here is completely supported. I said I'd talk about the landscaping. This path was over there. There were 2 flags coming out. You can see that run of 2 flags came along. So I've dug the garden out and moved them up. Added these flags here. This is all temporary. We'd like some proper staging or bricks on end or whatever, but I can't afford it at the moment. So a bit more of an area here. See the brick trimmings down there. I had to dig out the foundations from an old greenhouse and dig this out. I put a brick retaining wall in for now. Dug all the garden out down there. Dug all that out. Moved this path. You can see in the grass it's moved back 4 inches there, and then curved it and put all these concrete foundations in. That shed was over here, so you can see how much soil I've moved. Put some extra foundations in there, went and saw the neighbours and asked permission to let my shed overhang theirs and take out some of this concrete stuff so the shed goes back. This sticks out further and it's going to go over the roof of the shed, so this area is covered and I think it looks alright. Stuck all these retaining walls in here, and eventually the plan is this bit gets rounded and there's a pond with a little waterfall that starts up there, trickles down here and into the pond, a couple of goldfish, all that kind of stuff. You can see where the original path was just a straight line across there. Now it goes up to the concrete. And the other stuff that I was doing, my storage unit is basically done. but I can't move it around, I haven't got the space. I've got even more storage, and I've got some more of this coming, I think. But when the wall goes out, I'll have room for it all. And the workbench actually works with sliding pieces, and the 2 units I made fit underneath. The back's just held on with vice grips at the moment, but it's getting there, slowly but surely. Obviously, the more I do, the more mess I make. Oh, and I've done the loo as well. Well, I've got to show you that. Yet another project. So it's plastered, it's got lights, all the pipe work's in. I've started putting blocks around the back of the macerator. All this is going to be boxed and soundproofed to try and shut the thing up, because those macerators are the pain. But it took me 3 weeks to stop the thing leaking. I'm not great at plumbing, but it all works, the sink works. Slowly but surely getting there. Anyway, that's enough for now. That's the update. Cheers now. Okay, moving on. So I've got my angles. Really heavy duty these. They're heavier than the ones that hold the loop up, so I don't need too much overlap. I've cut some of them to length, but what I need is a piece like heavy duty steel. Don't know if you can see it. Welded in there. So I can bolt it to the beam on the other side. And I've got a bunch of them. They're a bit worn because I've just ground them off with an angle grinder. So that one, they've all got pilot holes I've put in for the bolts that go into the wood, and they need prepping for welding. And I'm going to obviously drill them with this thing, but that's really handy. So you figure out which way it's going to go.
Needs a bevel to inset the thing.
So you've got relatively 45 degrees, a little bit in. I could go a bit further with this one actually. Strip all the coating off so that when that slots in that and that is ground a bit further back, you get a really strong weld. I also need to do it, oh so it's that way. I also need to do it there. It's actually inverted this, but hey, that is really handy. Just a gash old rounded piece of junk. It's a medium wheel, it's not coarse or anything. Well, it's great. For small stuff like this, ideal. Anyway, yeah, and I still haven't put a box down the switch. Cheers now. So this is the last bit of this video. The pillar drill worked great. This stuff is so thick and rock hard. I had to go with that one, then that one, then that one to get the holes. Like these, they're all done, 6 of them. These 2 have got the 45-degree angles for the welds, which are on the other side of that. The inside I did a triple layer. I didn't quite get it accurate enough, but that's certainly strong enough. The other side I just whizzed a bit off. I'm not going for beautiful here, I'm going for strong. That ain't going anywhere. So once I've got 6 of those, that sits like that one does, and then when it joins the beam on the outside, 2 great big bolts through these 2. That's definitely strong enough. Obviously it's over engineered. This stuff is a lot stronger than the original, and there's a 3-foot overlap which will have 4 bolts joining it together, and possibly some welds too, because the last thing I want is when I take the wall out for it to sag. It's got to be stiff. So anyway, there's number 1 done. 5 more to go. But as you can tell by my voice, I've been on the wine, not welding now. That's pretty cool, that. I'm chuffed with that. Okay, I'll update you next time. Cheers now. Bye bye.